What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode, man, of the Orange Crush Hour. It's your host JMX with my other host Trav. And hey, man, it's game preview time. The Broncos 1-1 taking on the undefeated Chargers. This game has really big implications for the division. Um, really, I mean, because the Chiefs are 0-2, Raiders are 1-1, but I don't think nobody believes in the Raiders. But man, this game is definitely huge for the remainder of the season because uh we win this game, we go to first place in the division, and no matter, even if our records are the same before we play each other again, the Broncos gonna have the advantage. But yeah, man, before we jump into everything, Trav, man, how you been? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, man. You know, going into week three, I'm ready.
Yeah, man, I can't wait, but a part of me is just, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little tough week for Bronco fans. I will say that, this that loss still stings. You know what I'm saying? I wish I can go back to them 10 seconds where we were 2-0. You know what I'm saying? It was just a really great time during those 10 seconds. I feel like my week has not been the same since those 10 seconds. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Whew. Broncos are traveling all the way to SoFi to take on the Chargers. Chargers are 2-0. Chargers have beaten the Chiefs and they beaten the Raiders. Um, weren't both of those games were technically primetime games for the Chargers, but the Broncos are 1-1 coming off that heartbreaking loss from the Colts. A lot of stuff to look forward to in this game. But let's start obviously with the injury report. Dre Greenlaw and Evan Ingram are out. Dre Greenlaw still has not played his first game as a different Bronco since we picked him up. Evan Ingram got hit with a back injury, I think, in that later part of the Colts game, and both of those guys got ruled out. Two huge, it sucks. Like Evan Ingram's a big out for this game. We're gonna need him to kind of pull Derwin James, kind of just make him play one on one as much as possible to get him out from Roman. But and Greenlaw still hasn't made that, so we got Singleton and Stranad for another week. Lord Jesus. But yeah, man. What are your thoughts on the injury report, and what's your thoughts on the whole Greenlaw situation?
I think the Broncos are taking the Greenlaw situation in the right direction. I would much rather take it day by day, not rush him back, and have him in crucial moments down the stretch when it's really going to matter. It's still early in the year. I think a lot of people are overreacting, saying that he's never going to play. He's going to be Randy Gregory, all the shit that everybody's saying. I get it. He's not played yet. But at the same time, I think it's just the team being cautious. If you rush him back now, that may impact your season later. Granted, the linebacking core looked terrible last week, so I get why everybody wants that. But I think they can rebound. I don't think that this game is going to look the same. And yeah, I know we heard Vance Joseph say that Alex Singleton's looked good this week, which was kind of a cringy take in a way. But I think Singleton can rebound. Do I think he's the best in coverage? No, I don't think anybody does. But I don't think that he's going to have that same game against the Colts every game.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thoughts on the Greenlaw situation. He has a quad injury, and just really given his injury history in the past, you don't want him to rush back. The 49ers are known for rushing guys back from injury, and that's why their injuries, you know, they start off as little stuff, little nicks, and then the big one, you out 6 to 8 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. So the Broncos just want to be as careful as possible, and you know what I'm saying, like it's the beginning of the season, so you want him to miss time. This is the best time for him to miss time. I think I think they may not even play him week 4. I can see him coming back week 5 for that Philly game, and then we see it. But I mean, I'm not really too worried about the Greenlaw situation. I know people are like, man, when are we going to see him play? Like, I don't think people understand. Like, you want him at 100% because his impact is going to be heard. And his impact is going to be seen. It's going to be shown. It's going to be big. And I won't be surprised if they sit him out for the Bengals game as well, just because, hey, like, I mean, you never know. He might play in that game, but I'm just saying, that's probably going to be a dub for us. So, I mean, we're gonna for sure have to see. Evan Ingram for me, I'm more concerned about. I mean, he's been banged up pretty much the first 2 games. I think he got hurt a little bit in the Titans game, and then got hurt in the Colts game. And I think he was questionable to even play in the Titans game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. His injuries concern me a little bit more because it's just like piling up really fast, and it's like, damn, bro, like you ain't even really, I ain't gonna say you ain't really doing too much, but like we ain't even really got you involved in the offense that much, and you already getting you already getting nicked up. But I mean, we gonna see by Evan Ingram. I'm still skeptical. But as far as the linebacking core goes, I don't know what the hell is going on, Van Joseph. Look, I don't know if he watched the same film I did, or maybe hell, maybe he got some different footage. But I don't give a damn what Alex Singleton looked in practice this week. I saw how that brother looked last Sunday in that game, and they went right after him. I expect him to maybe have a bounce back performance, but it's like Justin Herbert is playing at an all time high, and you best believe the Chargers are going to attack any weakness they can on this Broncos defense, which is probably not going to be the secondary. It's probably going to be, especially with Lab McConkey being hurt. And they're going to probably attack the middle of the field. They're probably going to get the tight ends, the running backs involved, and that's just something the Broncos got a game plan for. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. However, I do think that when we look at that Colts game, I think the biggest thing was not getting sacks. I don't believe the Chargers have the same offensive line the Colts do. I think that that
Mm-hmm.
secondary is going to and I know this might be a crazy take considering how good Herbert's playing. I think that they're going to force him to throw a turnover. I think the Broncos get their first pick against the Chargers because what they've not had a pick through the first 2 weeks.
Mm-mm. Yeah, he ain't turning the ball over.
So I think they're due, and I do think they're going to try to beat us over the middle of the field. However, I think the defense is going to be more prepared. Vance Joseph schemed an awful game from top to bottom. Right? We could talk about the swing routes to Jonathan Taylor that were uncovered. And I'm sure we can give Vance Joseph a lot of slack or a lot of hate for messing up. But I feel like the one thing he does very well is after a bad game and the defense plays a bad game, you're going to see 5 or 6 good games from the defense after that. I feel like he can schematically scheme really well to make this defense compete. I think the defense is going to have a bounce back game. I feel like the problem with the Broncos right now is just um, consistency on both sides of the ball. If you can get the play that you got from the defense week 1, and then the play from the offense that you had in week 2, you look like one of the best teams in football if you get that on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you go back and watch the tape, bro, we started out the game with Brandon Jones on Josh Downs. Now, I don't know why the hell Van Joseph thought that was going to work, but we saw how quickly that didn't work. But I'm not going to put too much of it on Vance, but one, he did get out coached, but also just, we didn't really have an answer for it. I mean, we ran man coverage and we got beat, and it just can't happen. But starting off with the offensive side of the ball for the Broncos, look, I want to start here, and I just want to say this: people need to calm down about Bo Nix. I've been seeing a lot of stuff of people. They just going a little bit too overboard with it. They definitely are questioning everything about this man. Already calling it a sophomore slump. I've seen people talking about that this man is the worst starting quarterback in the league. I've seen stuff saying that he's the reason why we're 1-1, and he's the reason why we aren't 2-0. And I just think it's people just go straight to the interceptions, and I just think that's just an easy way to look at it. Um, I'm not too concerned on Bo like everybody else. There are things I think he needs to work on, but I think this is why people shouldn't react to week 1 and week 2. They shouldn't overreact, and you shouldn't really underreact. I think you need to just take it for what it is. It's the beginning of the season. Bo struggled at the beginning of the season last year. This is still a year 2 quarterback in a year 2 with Sean Payton. And it's not that many playmakers on this offense as well. So he's still learning on the fly. And to me personally, I've seen improvement in his game. I think him being him, I will say he's learned the playbook a lot more. You see him at the line of scrimmage, audible in plays, checking. He's reading the defense a little bit better. Just a lot of the interceptions he throws, he's trying to force the ball to a certain wide receiver, which we're finna get into. But I do want to just talk about the offense for a second, going against the Chargers defense. Broncos rank 18th in overall passing efficiency. The Chargers rank 5th. Rushing efficiency, the Broncos are 14th. The Chargers are 25th. Broncos are first in pressure rate protection, and the Chargers are 25th in pressure rate. So, I mean, the Broncos got really, you got to start on the ground game against this team, and that's just kind of got to be the game plan. If you're gonna try to throw the ball and go buck wild on this defense, it's not gonna work. Just put it out there. They got really good young corners. They got Derwin James, and we got no Evan Ingram to start that off. So they got a really good, gritty, fast, young secondary. And I think the Broncos game plan has to be to pound the rock. J.K. Dobbins wants his revenge game. He said it's not really a revenge game, but it's a revenge game. Um, you know, I think got to hit the ground hard. You got to hit it with Harvey. There is no Khalil Mack in this game, and I think Diane Henley. I don't know if he's playing or not.
I think he's questionable.
Yeah, I think he was questionable with something. What was it really quick? Yeah, I think he had the flu. He had the flu going into the Raiders game, but I know him and Ladd didn't practice on Wednesday. I don't know what their injury report is. I have to find the Chargers injury report, but I think
Ladd
the
was
game plan has
practicing
to be to run the ball. We've seen. Go ahead.
Ladd was practicing today, and so was Tarheeb Still.
Okay, yeah. What about Henley?
Didn't see any update on that.
Let me see. I got it right here. Yeah, so he didn't practice today. So Henley was he DNP on Wednesday, limited on Thursday, and DNP today. Ladd practiced full these last 2 days. Cam Hart was limited today. He's questionable. So basically, I don't know if Diane Henley's going to play, but if he doesn't play, that's going to be also a really big boost for us to just run the ball heavy. Um, yeah, but I think offensively though, Bo had some success last year against the Chargers throwing the ball. I mean, really did, especially in the second game. We it was good. But I'm gonna say for this matchup in SoFi early in the season, I'm not trusting the matchups, our receivers versus their corners. I'm gonna pound the rock heavy. I'm gonna get both some easy throws, easy completions to Mims, easy completions to Franklin, and I think that has to be the game plan for the offensive side of the ball. Because I don't think this week we're gonna score 28, 30 points. It's gonna be probably a 24-20 type of game.
Yeah, I would agree. I think J.K. Dobbins is going to have a legacy game against his former team that didn't want him. Regardless of he says they did want him, they replaced him with Najee Harris and Amarion Hampton that ranked 25th in the NFL through 2 weeks. I do kind of want to touch on this, but Bo Nix has had amazing success against divisional opponents. 14 touchdowns to only one interception going against the division opponents. He has a 112.2 passer rating, and he has at least 2 passing touchdowns in every division game he's played. Shout out to Zach Stevens for that. I think the biggest thing for this game, and I've just been thinking about this every since I seen the Darren Rizzi interview, where he said that special teams ran a field goal block that they've never ran before, and Coach Sean Payton called the play. To me, Sean Payton, one thing, and you'll probably agree, I'm glad we have him. He's a great coach. He overcoaches. Sometimes he does too much. In the Colts game, he did too much. They could have ran a regular field goal block scheme. We win the game. He did too much. He overcoaches in a lot of moments that he doesn't need to. I think that the fact of beating the Chargers is keep it simple. Don't overcoach. Run the ball. And I think Cortland Sutton's going to have a solid game. I think we're looking back at the Colts game and we're like, man, he had a stinker. But he tends to always have that circus catch against the Chargers in the end zone. I think he has a rebound game. I'm not going to say he's going to go for anything crazy. I think he's just going to have a solid game, and I think Troy is as well. But I think you beat this team by running the football. I think you have J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey on the ground, kind of like you said, and I think that's how you have to beat the Chargers.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a really good point you brought up, Trav. Sean does tend to overcoach sometimes, and I think that's what leads to him and some of the arguments him and Bo Nix have on the sideline. Yeah, you just got to keep it simple, bro. I mean, look, this is a team you're not going to have too much success throwing the ball against them. The Broncos are second to last in the league in intermediate passing. Chargers defense is second. Um, the Broncos are 29th in passing against the play action. The Chargers rank fourth against the play action. Um, I want to see Bo get on the ground a little bit. The Broncos are ninth in quarterback scrambles. Chargers defense ranks 28th. I want to see us do that. I want to see us try to get Bo moving a little bit. and you got to do the quick game. I agree that Sutton, he does ball out against the Chargers, so I'm expecting him to make a few plays here and there. But I mean, you're gonna have to win this game on the ground against the Chargers. You're gonna have to just it's gonna be an ugly game. Like I don't think it's gonna be a really high scoring, fun, entertaining game for the football fans who love to see like we saw last week. No, this is gonna be a down in the dirt, running the ball, quick game, getting the ball out as quick as possible, and just bro, I want to see some design QB runs, bro. We need to see it because I'm gonna be honest with you, that's an element of this offense that Bo needs because it seems like the more he runs, the more confident he is throughout the game. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. I think they need to do some design plays for Bo to run, which they like never do. I think they should.
yeah, I mean, because look, if you look around the league, you see guys like Jay Daniels, and he's a young guy. You see any basically dual threat quarterback in the league, they get some design runs a game, but the Broncos don't want to do that with Bo Nix. I definitely think that's something that they got to implement. I mean, bro, you got the line for it. I mean, shit. And this week you're gonna have Troutman and Nate Atkins playing pretty much the whole game, so you might as well. It's no disguising for a receiving threat with those dudes. So you might as well just run the ball as much as you can. At least give us 3 to 4 plays for Bo Nix to get it going with his legs. But yeah, we're gonna see. Me personally, I don't know what our receivers are going to do too much. Because I mean, like I said, if you look at the Chargers are probably one of the best teams in the league against the pass. And looking at how our receivers looked outside of Troy Franklin against the Colts, I don't know too much. I don't know how much success we finna have. So I'm not saying don't throw the ball at all. I'm just real nervous. I'm real nervous about that. Heading over to the defense side of the ball. Uh, Justin Herbert's balling. He's got Quentin Johnson playing at an all-time level. Keenan Allen look like he back in his prime. The only knock on their offense is they can't run the ball. So I think this is gonna be a game where they're gonna. I think they're gonna fall back on the run more than people think. I think that this is gonna be one of those things where they're gonna try to attack the run game. Harbaugh, it doesn't matter. Harbaugh's gonna run the ball. That's just what it is. But I think you're not gonna be able to pass the ball with this offense and these receivers. I like how we match up against it. I don't think they're going to be able to throw the ball 40 times and just have the utmost success on us. I think they're going to try to implement it in the run game, and they're like the second worst run team in the league right now. And the Broncos are top 10 in run defense. But I will say one matchup I want to talk about, and then I'll let you go. Nick Bonito versus Joe Alt. I think it's going to be real interesting to see what they're going to do with that. Nick Bonito, I mean, he leads the NFL with 15 total pressures, 8 quick pressures, in a 35.7% pressure rate through 2 games. And Joe Alt has allowed the lowest pressure rate in the league. So you really got two of the best guys going at it in this game on the edge. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm Denver, I'm moving Nick Bonito away from bro. Like I'm gonna flip this. I'm gonna move Nick Bonito to the right side and have him go up against the Chargers right tackle, and I move Jonathan Cooper to the left side.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think if you flip Benito to the other side, he's going to have more success. However, I don't know if you remember the play from Week 1 where Kansas City designed a play for Drew Tranquil and he blew Justin Herbert up in the backfield. I think we need to have some design plays like that. I wouldn't mind seeing a Justin Shenaud blitz through in there every once in a while because I do think that where we match up really good against this team is I don't think they're better at skill position than the Colts. I don't. I don't think
No, they're not. They're not.
I don't think their offensive line is as good as the Colts. Right when we look at right now, I think the thing is when we match up against them, we match up really well because they don't have a Jonathan Taylor, they don't have a Tyler Warren. If you take away their receivers, then they're forced to run the football. And right now, it looks like their rush attack is pretty bad. Granted, they have a rookie. They have Najee Harris that has terrible vision. I expect a big day from the D-line. I really do. I expect a big day, put some pressure on Herbert, get a sack or two, force a turnover. I expect the defense to play Denver Broncos football. They have to. I mean, they just have to. It's going to be interesting to see what we do at the nickel. Are we going to give – I mean, Jade got the start last week. Are we going to give Jaquan Millen the start? Who's going to get the edge? Because I mean, that's a very important spot in this game. Like, are you going to give the
I think it'll
reins?
be Jade.
I, I think it probably will be, but I think you're going to have to put McMillan in there because the clutch factor. I think you have to give him the reps because if there's a guy they can pick Herbert off, I think J Mac will be that guy tomorrow.
Hmm.
I think they'll design a play for their slot receiver, and I think J Mac may get the best of them. Um, I just need to see a bounce back game. Like I think it's going to be a close game between these two teams. It's a divisional game. Um, I think the Broncos want it more. You know, I think the Chargers are hot right now. They're 2-0. Everybody's saying they're a Super Bowl caliber team. Justin Herbert's on the MVP level. Um, it just kind of concerns me that the Chargers scored 3 points on the Raiders in the second half, and I don't know if that don't concern anybody else. I don't think you can score 3 points in the second half against the Denver Broncos and win a football game.
Yeah.
I think the defense is going to come to play, and I think, and I don't know if you're going to agree. I don't think beating the Kansas City Chiefs in 2025 is the same as beating them in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with pretty much everything you just said. I think it's definitely not the same. But I know what to expect from this Harbaugh team. They they play solid in pretty much every facet, especially defensively and special teams. That's where the Broncos have kind of been struggling. And that's kind of why I'm nervous about this game. I do agree that the Broncos could go in there and yeah, they wanted more. They're on the road and everything like that, but I just got to see it happen. I honestly do. I just have not been pleased like offensively from this team. I mean, I need Sean to calm down. That's the main thing. I need Sean to calm down, and I need Vance to just stop underestimating opponents and lock in. Because that's what we did last week. We was too eager. We was too. Sean was doing too much. Vance got our coach. He underestimated the Colts, and we got. And at the end of the day, we still shot ourselves in the foot. We lost by 1 point. But I definitely do think the fan in me. I definitely think that we're gonna bounce back and play a really every time this team loses in heartbreaking fashion, they bounce back. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, we saw it last year, and hell, we even saw it in the in the year we had Russ. We just always found a way to bounce back after those heartbreaking losses. So I'm the fan in me is like I'm liking this game, even with Ingram out, even with Greenlaw out, because hey, look, it's a divisional game. It's gonna be a dog fight. You already know. Now I will say this: fan in me or not, the defense gonna have a bounce back performance. They're gonna have a bounce back performance. I fully believe they're gonna come out there and ball it. And as far as what you said about Jade and Jaquan McMillan, I think it's gonna be definitely a switch off thing. I think we're probably gonna see Jade maybe start off on Lad just to see how he does, because that's gonna be Herbert. Really, because Herbert goes to Quentin Johnson. That's his deep threat. I think with Raleigh Moss being there, this is his bounce back game. If you go out there and get killed by Quentin Johnston and man coverage, bro, we got to make a change. I'm gonna just put that out there right now. If Raleigh Moss go in, I don't think that's overreaction. You gotta have a bounce back game. If you go out there and you get killed by Quentin Johnston 1-on-1, it might be Abrams drain time. And I don't even think I'm overreacting with that one. What you think?
Um, yeah, I mean, if you go out there and you can't cover him, and he like the thing with Riley that seems to be the trend is he's always playing behind. It's like he's always getting beat up the seam. Um, it's like he's always chasing the receiver. He's never like when he gets beat like bad. And I'm not going to overreact too bad. Just like I'm not going to overreact on Singleton too bad. They both played really bad.
Eh,
Justin Strnad played really bad.
well,
The thing,
well, like, look, I'm gonna be real. Singleton played worse, bro.
oh, he for sure did. He literally.
Singleton was almost like it was almost point where I'm like, I don't know if you can come back from this, bro.
I mean, realistically, bro, and you'll probably agree. If you eliminate the 166 yards that Singleton allowed, we win that football game.
Bro, two players got week awards because of this, man. Tyler Warren got Pepsi Rookie of the Week, and Jonathan Taylor got AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
So, like, for me though, and I'm going to kind of take it a different approach. If Riley Moss gets torched, you bring in J Mac and you put Jade on the outside. You run those three and see what it looks like. Like I want to see Abrams drain, but dude, here's the thing, and this has kind of been sinking in with me. You pick Jade at 20. You could have had Campbell. You could have traded up for Tyler Warren. You could have been aggressive and traded up for Tyler Warren, which looks like he's going to be one of the league's best tight ends. You could have traded up for that, but no, we stayed put. And the guy that fell to us was supposedly this Jim guy. And granted, I'm not saying he's bad. I think he's a good player, but I've not seen the why we waited for player that we all expected. Like, has he looked horrible? No. Has he looked great? No. But you convinced all the fans that we got a gem at pick 20.
I think he's been what I expected the first 2 weeks of the season.
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need to see
he's kind of been what I expected.
I need to see
Go ahead.
lockdown corner. If he's guarding Ladd and he locks him down, hey bro, then we're speaking business because right now it's looking like a 50-50 for the pick 20. Like we should have traded up for a Emeka Ibuka. We should have traded up for a inside linebacker or got Campbell there at 20. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got to see the true fact of why Sean Payton and George Payton think that they got this special talent at pick 20, and we got to see it this season. I mean, there's you picked him at 20. Like I think we got to see him be good at least this season. Like I think he's been solid, but I think we need to see why he was picked at pick 20 soon.
I think it's early though, Trav. Though it's been 2
I'm not
games, but
writing. I agree. I'm not writing him off. Period. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying that he's horrible. I think he's a good player.
I
But
think for a corner in his defense, he's been kind of what I expected him to be. He ain't really gave up nothing. He's also been like they're putting him in on package plays. So he's played well. He hasn't gave up anything. The plays he's been in, he's
yeah,
made
he's been
plays.
good.
Yeah, but like I think Vance don't really play rookies like that. So I don't think he's gonna use him as much as people think that he's gonna be used. Like I think we saw him a lot last week because we were getting torched and we had to run 4 corners. And that's why we saw him. But he switches off a lot with Jaquan, but I'm not gonna say it's 50-50 just yet. Now I do agree with you in the aspect of Jahad Campbell looks like Danny Trevathan on crack. But he looks absolutely insane as far as coverage linebacker goes. He looks insane. You know how I felt about Ibuka. I think Tyler Warren. I don't know if we could have got Tyler Warren.
But
I feel like
if we were aggressive and traded up, dude, you're gonna get a good quality player. My thing is, and this is kind of the trend with Sean Payton and George Payton. They try to act like they outsmart everybody, and I think I like the pick because you're adding to an already built defense. But then you kind of look at it like 2 games in, we're looking at like our cornerback room is overcrowded. Why did you take Campbell and at need? And he's looking like the better pick right now. Do I think that Jade is going to be a great player? Yeah. I mean, I'm a part of the Jade fan club, 1,000%. You know that. Everybody knows that. I'm a part of that fan club. But I got to see. I want to see him lock. I want to see him lock Ladd McConkey the fuck up, and I think that'll kind of show people because I feel like everybody's on the fence about it right now. I think it was a good pick, but then if it's
I
not,
think it was a pick for the long run. I don't think
yes.
it was a pick like I don't think it was a immediate impact pick though. Like I feel like that pick was for the long run. Like imagine what our secondary can look. It's great now, but we got to think about the long term plan, and I'm not mad at that. But I don't think it was never an immediate impact pick. I think every other pick we made was immediate impact, but I think they were like, I don't think they did too much work on Jahad Campbell, which was a mistake. You should have still been aggressive to get a linebacker, but it is what it is. I mean, anybody expecting him to have a major role in this defense, that's not going to happen unless an injury happens. Like he's not going to have a major role in this defense for Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph never plays rookies. He didn't play Riley Moss his first year. He's not. Savion Jones has been a healthy scratch. That brother is not seeing the field. He's playing Jordan Jackson, and Ioma Uwazurike, who I can't fathom of why you would even like. What was the point of drafting him in the 4th round if he was going to be a healthy scratch? Q Robinson, healthy scratch. I mean, I'm like, bro, it's no reason for him to be a healthy scratch, especially with the injury to Malcolm Roach. Like, bro, play your rookie.
I agree. I just think that when we look at kind of the approach that this front office has taken, and I think they've done a hell of a job. Don't get it twisted, but always acting like you're outsmarting everybody, and that your pick is that pick, can bounce back to be bad, especially considering that our inside linebacker core without Dre Greenlaw looks like the worst in the league. And you had Campbell right there, bro. Like if we get if Singleton and Stranad get obliterated in week 3 the way they did in week 2, you need to pick up the phone and call the New Orleans Saints and trade for Demario Davis the next fucking day.
I'm not against it, but goddamn, I don't know, bro. We gonna have to see. As something else I want to bring up. We didn't really pretty much talk about the offense and defense. I want to bring up a quote that Sean Payton basically said today, and that was he said it's important to get Cortland Sutton involved this week, especially on third down in the red zone, especially after a quiet week against the Colts. Um, we need to go on a different approach in the passing game. I think we need to focus on getting Troy more involved, Pat Bryant more involved, getting what's the other guy? Marvin Mims more involved. I I know I'm nitpicking that quote, but it's like we gonna keep losing games, bro, trying to force him the ball. And Trav, matter of fact, I said all I had to say on it. I actually want your opinion on that quote. Like, do you think we should be trying to feed these younger receivers and seeing what we have there? I mean, like, of course, I'm not saying not give Cortland Sutton the ball. I still think Cortland Sutton is he still makes great plays. But I'm just saying, like, in the overall grand scheme of things.
Um, I think if we're going to pass the football, we need to spread it around. And I'm going to say this for this reason, right? Um, when Cortland Sutton is on, Bo Nix over targets him. Um, last week, yeah, Troy Franklin had a hell of a week, and I love to see that jump. But it was like we just kept going to him. We like I think we need to spread the ball out. Like I want to see, especially with no Evan Ingram, I want to see Pat Bryant get the football. I want to see Mims. I want to see all the guys eat. I think Troy is your. I think he's that X factor that we're looking for. So it's cool to feed him the ball. But I think a lot of the times when Bo don't have no like other options, the offense is locked up. He just lobs that bitch in the air to Sutton, and that don't work. Also, I hope to see Nate Atkins have a good game, bro. I know we were talking about Troutman and Kroll. I'm glad to see Atkins back. I think he's a sneaky weapon. Um, I hope to see him get the ball a little bit.
Oh my God. It just we're hoping Nate Atkins to
I
get the
hope.
ball.
Yes, bro. I like Atkins, bro. I think he's a sneaky weapon. Um, and also, you're talking about the Evan Ingram. I agree, bro. The playmaking ability, losing him for this game is huge. But I'll tell you what ain't huge is the fact
No,
he can't block worth a damn. He got
no, he
Troy
can't block worth shit.
he got Troy Franklin blew the fuck up. That's one thing Troutman, Kroll, and Atkins can all do is they can all block really well.
I'm sorry, like, but I'm just so down in the dumps because we're really looking forward to Nate Atkins coming back to make a difference in the passing game.
Not
That,
really
that,
though. I think he's a sneaky weapon that like we've seen it before. Like he can make a couple good plays. I don't think he's like a game changer, but I think he is a sneaky piece that may have a couple catches on Sunday. And he can
Trent,
block.
Trent,
You can use him at fullback. I I'm a part of the Atkins fan club, man. I think that
I like Atkins at fullback. I'm not getting it twisted, but like, bro, god damn, like this is what we were trying to avoid last year.
yeah,
Because
we should have drafted Gunnar Helm or Buddy that got drafted to the Rams from
because we're
Oregon.
not even playing Pat Bryant, bro. Trent Sherfield is he done ran more routes than Pat Bryant. What was the point of drafting him? I mean, bro, Trent Sherfield, we know why he was brought in. Why are we playing the rookie who can block? Who Trent Sherfield getting hold and calls out the ass?
Are you surprised, bro?
Yeah, bro, yes.
Why are
What
you
was the
why are
point?
you surprised? Are you forget?
Because, bro,
Hey,
it's like some of the same stuff is going on in terms of the offensive personnel. The only thing that's different is the running game. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry, bro. I am sick of watching on my Sunday TV. These I don't want to call them what I want to call them, but these mid-level playmakers, bro.
So
They're
he,
mid.
so here's the
Sudden. Troutman is borderline terrible, bro. We got Luke, like we're relying on Lucas Kroll this week. We're relying on Troutman, Lucas Kroll, and Nate Atkins in our tight end room. Outside of Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims, we got Cortland Sutton in Trent Sherfield. I am very concerned. This is why I'm saying, like, I'm concerned, bro. And then when my head coach goes out there and says we need to get Cortland Sutton more involved in the offense, this is making this a priority. The fucking priority needs to be playing your fucking rookie that you drafted in the 4th round instead of the special teams receiver that you brought in. Your priority needs to be bringing in playmakers, better playmakers in this, bro. Evan Ingram hurt, and we in the same tight end room as last year. The same bums. And I hate to call them bums, bro, but it's the truth. Trav, you hate Adam Troutman. Bro, this man, he come on.
here's the
Him
thing.
against James,
I
bro.
I agree with you.
It's frustrating, bro.
It's looking very very similar to
It's slim pickings out here when it
to
comes to weapons.
to what we did last year. We started the year off using fucking Reynolds, LaJordan Humphrey, uh, over the young guys, and that just seems like the trend on both sides of the ball. With these coaches, is they're gonna go with the veteran guy. Um, I think that if Evan Ingram can't stay healthy, you got to trade for a tight end. Like before the deadline, somebody that's blowing it up. You need to call them. Hey, let me get your tight end. Because
Trav,
at the end of the day, right now, the only two free agent signings that are looking like, hey, these guys were what they were advertised as. J.K. Dobbins and Talanoa Hufanga.
that's it. Trav, and I agree with you about getting a tight end. You ever went to like McDonald's and got a small fry?
And it's half
You ever
empty.
went to McDonald's and got a small fry before?
And it's half empty.
See, you know how when you get a small fry and like you got about 3 to 4 fries that are perfectly golden and crispy, and then you got the little smaller pieces that are all burnt and shit that you throw in the trash. That's the Broncos playmakers. You got about maybe 2 to 3 good, perfectly crispy fries, and the rest is just some burnt pieces, just some burnt stuff you throw in the trash, bro. I'm sick and tired of it. Like I'm watching the film, bro, and it's just like, bro, like we have no dynamic playmaker. And I'm with Miami. I'm gonna keep prefacing this. Someone is gonna be available at the trade deadline. I don't want to hear nothing about we're developing our young guys. I don't want to hear shit about, well, we just paid a guy. I don't want to hear nothing, bro. Get on the phone and you make a move at this deadline, bro. Because the way it's looking slim pickings on this offense. The defense, bro, we can't even afford the defense to have a bad game. We got lucky we played a banged up Colts defense. If we play it to another team, say we play Philly, and the defense gonna have a bad game. Brother. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're gonna get blew out. I think through the next couple weeks we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see Pat Bryant get some goes. I think the offense would look a lot better if you're running Troy, Mims, Bryant, Sutton, those 4 guys. Trent Sherfield's a gunner. That's what he was signed for. A special teams gunner. Yeah, he made a great catch in the preseason. Phenomenal. He's not better than Pat Bryant. And
Like, bro, like real talk. What was the point of drafting a receiver in the 4th round if you're gonna play Trent Sherfield over him, bro? And don't even give me the shit about blocking, because I was told, and I looked at the stats, Pat Bryant was arguably best blocking receiver in college. So what the hell was the point of drafting him then?
And he has really reliable hands. Like I think that he's a guy that we have to get involved sooner than later.
Now,
Sooner than later. Like we need to get him involved this week.
I'm tired of us starting the season. I'm tired of us getting our best players involved week 8. Week 10, week 12. Bro, we need to get them involved immediately. Like, bro, Marvin Mims needs to get more involved in this offense. Get this man the ball, bro.
Hey,
I'm tired of him getting he's getting called 1 to 2 plays. Like, bro, what is this? Like, I'm watching the film. I'm like, bro, can we, like, bro,
and he gets
this
open
ain't
on a
really the best
consistent.
control.
He gets
Yeah.
open on a consistent basis too. So like, yeah, I mean, you got to utilize him. What kind of is strange to me, and I don't know if you've noticed this. It's like they got Troy going right, and like he's cooking. He looks like he could be that X factor for Denver. But it's like they've stripped Marvin Mims of his gadget role. Like we've not seen too much of gadget guy Mims. Like last week. I mean, that first drive he caught that touchdown from Bo. That was a really nice pass and a really nice catch. He separates really well. I want to see gadget Marvin Mims. That's what he's best
And
at.
yeah, and I want to say this for everybody. Listen, I'm not saying that we can't get things going offensively. I'm just trying to figure out why do we keep going into the season slow? Like, like why did it take so long to start realizing? Okay, let's let's start getting this guy the ball more. Like, bro, come on. Like, bro, it's gonna cost you games doing that. And I just want to put this out there. Guess who has out of all 12 receivers, eligible receivers on the roster? This is including okay, I'll say 11. I'll take out Adam Prentice. So this is, Beatty, all three backs, all the receivers, and all the tight ends. Guess who has the least amount of separation rate?
It's Sutton, bro.
How is your second year quarterback supposed to succeed? And that's your wide receiver one. That's all I have to say. So for everyone out there shitting on Bo Nix, I'm gonna need y'all to actually like lock in, bro. Lock in, cause
They need to run. Hey, and you'll probably agree with
we
Sutton.
gotta make a move.
With Sutton, bro, they need to run more comeback routes, bro, which they've kind of not really done too much of. Like they need to, because I feel like
I agree.
on third down, that's where Sutton is a very good part of the offense conversion wise. Because yeah, he's not a great separator, but on the comeback, he usually wins those matchups. And I think you have to use him like that. Use him in the red zone. But I think we need to use Franklin, bro. Go to Franklin.
Yes, I agree. And to what you said about the comeback routes, bro, his route tree is limited, Trav. Like his route tree is very limited. You can't expand too much on his route tree. So that's why he's running a lot of quick slants, stick, and the go ball comeback. Like that's a very limited route tree. You're not asking him to do anything too crazy. But I do agree. You got to find a way to maybe try to give him the ball a little bit better in the quick game. But I don't know, bro. I'm mad that this is, and I thought that it was gonna be a little different this year because I'm like, well, we're gonna use Pat Bryant. Like, I thought really him coming in was him playing can make a difference, and we just said, fuck that. We not gonna play bro like that. We gonna play Trent Sherfield and give him his snaps. I'm like, come on, bro.
Hopefully that changes. We need to see that change this week.
Hopefully, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I see number 5 out there, and I'm not saying Trent Sherfield is a bad receiver by any means necessary, but he's not that good, and we know what he is, bro. He's not garbage. We know what he is. He's not a game breaker. But how about you play the rookie? Just please play. I mean, bro, Pat Bryant played tremendously in the preseason on every facet, blocking, receiving. I feel like he earned the play. Nah, I guess the brother got to do more.
Let me ask you a question, and this is kind of off topic. Are we ever gonna see Caleb Lohner?
I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you because
Like, it's looking like that pick. I mean, it's a 7th round pick, but like seeing them hit on Vele, and I kind of want to touch on this too now that I bring it up. The Vele trade, the capital was great, but you got rid of him when he was the slot guy to bring in a guy that is not playing football. If you have Devon Vele, you at least have the slot guy.
you're not even playing the rookie.
So it's like, why did we even do that?
Yeah, I'm like, what was the point of trading? That's another good point, Trav. Why did we trade Vele? We were just gonna play Sherfield. Bro, it makes no sense. You should have just kept him at that point, and you should have, bro. It's I don't know what's going on. I just know I don't know if it's him overcomplicating or what it is, but this is a trend we see with Sean, bro. He doesn't get guys work. He doesn't get the receivers going until it's late. Like, god damn, bro. It's no reason why Marvin Mims should have came on after week 8 last season. Like, bro, come on, man. Like, dead ass, bro. We gotta lock in, bro. Like, everybody picking us to win these Super Bowls and stuff like that, bro. You gotta get, bro. Like, we drafting these guys for a reason. Like, he didn't even want to come out in the first week and barely want to run the ball, and you brought in 2 backs, shaked up the whole running back room, but you barely want to run the ball, and running the ball won us the damn game. So I'm really just like, bro, I'm discouraged. I just have not liked what I've seen. Even though we dropped 28 points last week, I was not like thrilled. Like, I expected us to do that. See, I expect greatness from my football team. I don't expect like I expect us to go out there and drop 30 on a banged up Colts secondary. I expect us to do this. I'm nervous for this week. I really am truly nervous. I'm hoping it's not a shit show. I'm hoping they go out there and ball, but I am not confident. And I'm not saying we're gonna be trash the rest of the season. I think there's gonna be some games where we're gonna fight to win, and I think the offense will get better. I'm just like, but why can't we come out the gate looking good?
Yeah, I agree,
Like,
and
I want to come out the gate looking how the Cardinals offense look. Go ahead.
and I agree. I think it comes down to Sean Payton. I mean, and I'm not fire Sean Payton. I'm not in none of
Yeah.
that. I'm not in none of that bullshit that all you people comment on my TikToks. Bench Bo Nix, fire Sean Payton. I'm not with none of that.
Yeah.
I'm not with none of that bullshit. But Sean Payton has a trend, and he's had it ever since he was in New Orleans. The dude has not won a road home opener since 2017. Like going on the road for the first game, he's not won one since
Yeah.
2017.
I don't know
He
what it is.
It's just what he does, bro. I mean, he starts extremely slow, and it's like it's a struggle to get his team going. Um, However, we need to see the Denver Broncos get going before October. We need to see the Denver Broncos get going tomorrow or Sunday. We need to see them get going Sunday. If you beat the Chargers, you're number one in the division. This team has a lot to prove after a really, really heart wrenching loss that Denver lost himself due to Sean Payton overcoaching. And that's what it all comes down to. They lost that game because Sean Payton used a field goal package that he's never used before on a 60-yard field goal. Why did you not let Darren Rizzi call the play?
He can get his head up out his ass. I don't know what it is about the first couple weeks of the season. He be having his head up his ass, bro. Come on. Damn, you talking about some, you know, we want to start fast. Bruh. How fast you want to start, Sean? Because you drove us right into the ground. Let's be real, bro. Week 1, bro, he was over aggressive.
He has that trend. I mean, he does. Look back at his first game, and you'll remember this. His first game as a head coach against the Raiders, he kicks an onside kick to open the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
The Chargers game last year, the Broncos gave him a free kick. It's stupid stuff, man. Like, stupid stuff. And it just shows you that sometimes he overcoaches. Sean Payton needs to rip the bong, calm the fuck down, and call a clean game, bro. I mean, that's it, bro. He needs to call a clean game, set up Bo Nix. Bo Nix looked good in week 2. Yeah, the interception was bad. I'm not going to completely blame him. The ball was tipped by the defender. I thought Bo Nix played extremely well. I thought he took the progression from week 1 to week 2. And he looked pretty good. I think that he just has to finish better in the second half and not throw a turnover this week. I think if he has a game where he tosses for 2 TDs, no interception, I think he's looking good because I think a lot of people are writing off Bo Nix right now. Sophomore slump. He don't look good. He can't go through his progressions. And I think Bo Nix, if there's one thing he can do, it's beat adversity, and I think we're going to see it real soon.
I hope, man. Last thing we get into, Trav, give me your offensive player of the game, defensive player of the game, score prediction.
Offensive player of the game is going to be none other than J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. Dobbins is going to have his best game for the Broncos. I know he's a nonchalant dude. He's all smiles. He never wants to be, too controversial. Uh, I think he knows that the Chargers did him dirty. He said they wanted him. If they wanted him, they would have kept him. They wouldn't have brought in Najee Harris. That's been pretty much nothing through 2 games. I expect J.K. Dobbins. You know what? J.K. Dobbins is going to have that first 100 yards game for a running back since Latavius Murray. That's my take. I
Did
think
Devontae have one last year with this against the Saints?
I don't think he did. I think the last 100-yard game was Latavius Murray in one of the Russ seasons. I think the 5-win season. I might be wrong though.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So I think Dobbins has the first 100-yard rushing game that a Broncos had since Latavius Murray. Um, offensively,
That's
defense,
insane.
defensively, I got to see Pat Surtain strap fuck up in this game. He had a little bit of a bad outing last week uh, with the whole defense having a bad outing.
He'll be all right.
I think Pat Surtain is going to strap up, bro. So I'm gonna go Pat Surtain. I think he's going to have a good game. I think he's going to have a couple pass breakups. He's going to lock in. So
Yeah, no, I ain't worried about him. He'll be fine. He'll be on Keenan Allen. He'll be straight. Um, for me, I'm going to go. And you've got to give a score prediction, so we'll get that in a second. I'm gonna go offensive player of the game. I was gonna go J.K. I'll be a little different. I'm gonna go Mims. I'm gonna go Mims. I think Mims has another game, back to back weeks where he gets a touchdown. I think him and Bo connect on the deep ball in this game. I'm gonna go Marvin Mims. I just got a gut feeling that they're gonna use him a lot. I would have gone Harvey, but I'm gonna go Marvin Mims. I don't know why. I just got a gut feeling that it's gonna be like a big Marvin Mims game. For defense player of the game, who'd you have? Yeah, Pat.
yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Jonathan Cooper. Give me Jay Coop. It really depends on what they do. If they decide to let Nick Benito go against Joe Aldall game, but I'm gonna go on the opposite side. I'm gonna go Jonathan Cooper. He's got to have a really big game in this one because we're gonna need him to cook on that other side of the line. So give me Jay Coop as my defense player of the game. My score prediction. I'm gonna have to say. Give me 2013 Chargers.
Um, I'm gonna say. I thought it was going to be a field goal game, but I think the Broncos are going to respond. Give me the Broncos 27-20.
Mm. You think we draw 27 on the Chargers?
Yeah, I think we're going to show that they played uh, two very, very stagnant offenses. I think we're going to show them that.
Hey man, the fan in me hopes so, my boy.
So, yeah, I think the Chargers have played two teams that have kind of struggled on offense. I know it's kind of crazy to think that the Kansas City Chiefs have struggled on offense. The Chargers did play them with the receiving core being pretty much depleted. I'm pretty sure didn't Hollywood Brown, not Hollywood Brown. What's their Xavier Worthy went down in week 1. They had no Rashid Rice. The run game in KC looks very bad. They played the Raiders. The Raiders look like an absolute joke. I mean, Geno Smith had 3 turnovers. The Raiders have no O line. I think that we're a different animal. I think that we're the Chargers' first real opponent throughout 3 weeks.
Yeah, real opponent is a little crazy, but I feel you. I think that's a bit crazy because I ain't gonna say. I mean, the Chiefs did put up. It was close. But yeah, look, the fan in me, I want to back you so bad, bro. I just I'm not saying like I'm not one of the people that think the season is over. I just this is a bad week for us. Injury, limping, morale is kind of low. Uh, it's just I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, hey, look, I've been wrong before. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping we go out there and everything. I'm hoping we go ball out, bro. Of course. I gotta go with the Chargers in this one, and I picked them early in the week, so I got to stick with it. So what I said, I got 20-13. Yeah, I think it's gonna be an ugly game for kind of both offenses, but I think the Chargers pull it out at the end. I think the Broncos is they got to get something going offensively, bro. Whether that making a move, like I'm gonna keep preaching that, bro. We got to make a move at the deadline, man. We absolutely have to. Like it's a must, Trav.
I mean,
I don't care how good we play these next 3 weeks. Even if we go win these next 3 games, we still need to make a move at the deadline, bro.
I agree with you, but I think that where the difference factor is going to lie is that Denver's coming off of an ugly loss, right? And granted, it was a pretty nasty, bad loss, but I think the offense played pretty well against the Colts. Yeah, Cortland Sutton had a bad game, but I think in totality, they played a pretty good game offensively. If you can play, if you can bring the same offense that played the Colts, and you get the defense that from week one, I think that this matchup is more favorable for us than people are actually given due to the loss last week. I think we look at that and we're like, man, like the morale's down. But I'm gonna be honest. My opinion is I think this team strives better after they get slapped in the mouth and they lose the game they're supposed to win. I think it wakes them up a little bit. Even Pat Surtain, in his presser, kind of said, he basically said, I played lazy, is basically what he said in his presser about the Colts
Well,
game.
I mean, he was hurt.
I agree,
I ain't gonna tell
but
you
it's
too
like,
much. Like, I mean, he gonna take responsibility because he's the leader. But
right.
that brother was hurt. That brother could not walk. He couldn't barely put pressure on that ankle.
I think that we're going to see a response from this team as a whole, right? I think Pat's going to have that game. Bo Nix is, I mean, last year shows really good against divisional opponents. I think the X factor is going to be, can Sean Payton just simplify the game and coach a better game than Harbaugh? If we can run the ball, and dude, last year, I know you remember the game, Sean Payton had his play sheet that said run the ball on the back of it, and he ran the ball down their throat and went away from running it. If the run game is working, I get it. Sean Payton's a quarterback guy. He had Drew Brees. He handpicked Bo Nix. But if the run game's working, you commit to it. And if Sean Payton can do that and they can run the ball fluently, we're talking about a team that's 25th rushing the ball. If we can outrun them and stop the pass, I think Denver wins this game. And I think this team's more hungry. I think the Chargers are coming off of a 2-0 start. They feeling like they're the big dogs right now. We're hearing Super Bowl Chargers MVP Herbert. I think my statement about they're playing a real team this week is a real thing. I think the Chiefs are still an amazing team. Don't get it twisted. But I feel like the Chiefs, for one, offensively were injured. Pat Mahomes has been struggling through the first 2 weeks. I just think that I think Denver's going to give them the best shot of any team that's played them through 3 weeks.
I won't disagree. It's gonna be a good division game. We gonna see. But before we end it off, you got anything else you want to add? You got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, defense gonna get after Herbert, man. Herbert gonna throw the ball to our defense. We got to see it, bro. He has no interceptions on the year, playing a very clean year. He's looking like he could be in the MVP talks if he plays this way for the remainder of the year. And I'm not here for that shit. I hope Nick Bonito destroys him in the backfield, and that's what I'm ready for.
All I gotta say is, man, let's hope we get this dub, bro. Let's because we don't get this dub, 2-3 is looking very likely. Shit, 2-3 is looking like a given because we not gonna be Philly, and we got to win 2 out of these next 3 games if you want to continue in this season because this schedule is looking a little tougher. Like looking like these games ain't gonna be as easy as we thought we had them, but yeah, yeah, but hey, look, to end it off on a positive note, I think this team will get better as the season goes along. I'm down in the dumps a little bit right now because I'm just kind of pissed at just how similar this offense looks to last year, um, as far as the passing game goes. But I mean, overall, I think this team will still be a playoff team. I still think that, and I think this team is going to get better as the season goes along. So I do want to end this off on a positive note. I think all these mistakes we see, and I'm glad we getting them out the way at this point in the season, and they're not having these problems late in the season when we're going into the playoffs and we having these type of problems. So I think this team is going to pick it up and we'll be just fine. We'll be a playoff team for sure. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode, man. Thank you for showing us love. Make sure to like, comment, hit that sub button for us, man. I'm your host JMX, my co-host Trav. To the next one. Peace.